reaching a point of resistance at 16,600. It's tested that throughout today. I'll just move that resistance line across. It's tested that for today. If we look at the intraday moves, it's been at 6605 and now it's bobbing around. It's actually going to be relatively negative for today, possibly so far, which would give us a possibility of a retrace. The retrace could only go relatively short if we look at the midpoint between these two consolidations, which is basically the top of this resistance consolidation, the bottom of that one, and we draw that across. We'll get a point as to where that's likely to retrace to. What that essentially, it's not going to be a massive retrace, and we're likely to just see a consolidation, a broad range consolidation within those points. But much like the Dow, it defying logic almost as to why it's doing this. So moving on now to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq has climbed tremendously, broken through a resistance at 2700. Huge gains, massive gaps in the market, bullish move from Friday, which is a bearish engulfing candle almost. Next key resistance is just beneath 3,000, which we're coming up to, but very strong bullish moves. Gaps in the market suggest the pre-market auctions are really pushing the stocks in the Nasdaq at the moment. So there's an opportunity there. Seem to be very strong bullish moves recently with the Nasdaq. If we look at the RSI, the RSI, if we can get it up, it's not particularly oversold, but overbought rather. It just at the RSI for the Nasdaq tends to retrace a little bit before 70, so we can look at a possibility of a retrace before that. So keep an eye out on that line. So that's the Nasdaq. Very bullish still, but a possibility of a retrace on the horizon. Nikkei seems to have found support at 1700. Very bullish once again. I'm amazed at the market conditions at the moment. Technically, they're fine. We can analyze this and work with these, but all the fundamentalists out there that are using fundamental data should be really scratching their heads as to what's going on. And it just really goes to prove that the market's driven by sentiment than anything else. So here we have the consolidation at 1700. Very thin market last few days, Friday and last Thursday. Very thin, pointing towards a very strong support at 1700. Resistance above that. Well, if we draw a line at the bottom of this consolidation here, the resistance is likely to cause a broad range, relatively broad range consolidation, but relatively narrow for Nikkei. The Nikkei does have an incredible habit of breaking out of resistances, so once it gains some composure, it's likely to break out above that with the Nick. So that's this week's Tech A video on the 8th of October 2007. We'll return again next Monday with another video to see how we got on, and I expect more surprises, certainly with the Dow and probably the CAC as well. So that's this week's video.